Well, hey everyone, this is Charles Harper. I'm here with a gentleman that I've actually known for a little while, and I didn't really know that he was a content creator. His name is Dr. Loy Puckett, and he is a medical doctor. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure why he never told me that or why he ever told anybody that. It seems like he's kind of in a secret, but he's been kind of creating content from his perspective. I mean, real expert perspective. And I wanted to introduce him to you. Loy, good day. Hello, Loy.
Hey Charles, it's very nice for you to have me on, and I appreciate being able to talk to your audience.
Yeah, one thing we've been talking about this year is, having, a video membership site, but then having the kind of stuff inside that video membership to keep people interested. And I know you're doing something on arthritis, and with people that work and sit behind their computer all the time. What kinds of things that do come up for those kinds of people, specifically when it comes to, this kind of thing?
Well, I think that the now, of course, if somebody is doing some personal searching for things online, they and I don't know whether or not that ends up being completely associated with their business. They may be looking to be directed towards a particular site or a particular medical type query or so.
Yeah.
And then part of that reason may be that they see perhaps an opportunity to find out if there is a market in that area. And so again, somebody that's sitting behind the desk, that's just looking to do regular kind of business stuff, if this is not their particular area, it may not come completely natural to them. However, it is definitely an area, the health niche, that if there is a way that you can figure out looking to try to step into, is definitely a great market. And so, and of course, the content is something that everybody is always looking for,
Right.
and something that everybody also would like to look for is stuff that's quality content.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now, are you, is this something that, talk to me a little bit first about arthritis. So, and probably my experience, my knowledge of it is basically almost anecdotal, right? My parents, had it. Is this the kind of thing where people, have this condition and they don't know about it? So, for example, somebody who might be thinking, oh, is this carpal tunnel? Are my wrists hurting, my joints hurting, and I don't know I have this. Give me a very brief synopsis of what arthritis is.
Well, it is basically inflammation of the joints, and most of us at some point in time are going to end up having some form of this condition because we've got joints everywhere, and most of us tend to have had some either kind of activity in our life, whether it was sports or some kind of injury in our life that involved a joint. And at a later point in life, that joint is likely going to go through some type of an inflammatory process, or it has gone through one initially. And of course, I mean, knees and shoulders and hands and are most kind of common areas that somebody's going to experience just plain arthritis. And but I end up going into discussion in some of the other areas of arthritis as well, and go through many different topics that people do have a little bit more advanced medical condition.
So is there something that, let's say, those of us who, for whatever reason, we're working from home, those of us who are pretty much doing computer work all day, every day, is this the kind of thing that can creep up on us? So, again, like the people who are probably listening to us right now, their customers are going to be, some of those middle-aged people, right? People in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they're going to be communicating with those people. Are their customers going to be the people that would experience this primarily, and would be interested in hearing about, what to do about it?
Sure. It's, yes, those customers definitely can experience that. And when you're definitely when you end up being behind the desk for prolonged periods of time, especially if you've maybe had a little bit of this issue from before, but are in pain in particular joints, it's very going to it's going to tend to be exacerbated at times because you end up having less activity, and of course joints get stiff. The big thing too that people end up having is that they end up having neck arthritis because they're right in front of a computer a lot of times. Something you mentioned about carpal tunnel syndrome is a little bit different in that, but it does involve the wrist joint. And if you do end up having some inflammation of that wrist, it can certainly make a carpal tunnel syndrome worse than if you didn't have that condition at all. And so yes, as they're sitting at a desk, there are a multitude of different types of arthritic type issues. And again, one of the big ones is neck pain and neck arthritis.
I've had people, or not had people, I've had times when I've had what people call, a crick or a crook in the neck, right? Is that related to this, or is that the kind of thing we're talking about here?
It can be. It could be that it is a crick in the neck. Could be like a bad muscle, meaning that your muscle got you slept on it wrong, and so you had some muscle inflammation. So it can be that too. But somebody that does have arthritis of the neck can have, and they might call it the same thing, a crick in the neck too, because they end up having some pain in their neck. And then the other thing that ends up happening with a lot of patients is that they can have arthritis bad enough in areas like the neck or the lower back that they end up having some nerve impingement due to the inflammation. And so they end up getting shooting pains down into their shoulders and into their arms, or shooting pains down to the back of their legs. And patients that are, or people that are sitting at a desk for prolonged periods of time may have exacerbation of that problem. So yes, the crick in the neck is could be a multitude of different things, but the first couple things I think of is a muscle type pain, or it could be arthritis. Yes.
Yeah. So as a doctor, you are producing, this, probably content that would be at a different level of complexity. But I'm guessing that what you're talking to people about are things that they can actually, I guess, if it was business content, you'd be talking about actionable. So are you, in this particular content package, are you sort of describing the problem and proposing solutions, or what is the nature of what you're communicating with this content pack?
I am definitely describing the problem and talking a little bit about the different types of arthritis problems, and talking about what causes it and what kind of patients or people are going to end up having that problem. And then one of the angles that I end up taking a little bit towards is that there are a multitude of different types of medications that can be prescribed for patients with these particular kinds of problems. One of the things I've been very interested in is to find out if there is a change that can occur in somebody's diet, such that the types of foods and things that ingest into their body can end up affecting how much trouble they end up having with arthritis condition.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, in recent years, I mean, I've been seeing that, the conversation about, turmeric as a, as a catch-all. I mean, it's really kind of taken off, right? I mean, everybody's doing turmeric for just about everything, and I've seen this kind of as a, one of the things that you can use to kind of counterbalance inflammation in other areas and other things like that. So there's definitely interest in it. So a person that has, you sort of got two different levels of this. This is this is the release you're doing. Can you talk about the two different levels? So you're giving people an option of like two packages, right?
Right. So if somebody wants to get the initial part, it's going to be basically content, which includes just written content with images and SEO content as well too. And so that's and there are 10 different articles that are available from that. And then I've gone ahead and for each article, I have created videos that discusses each, well, actually I call it content piece. So I've gone through each content piece and I have gone through and basically spoken out the article itself in a video. And so, and the different formats of the video that they can utilize, so they can use it however they want to use it, whether it would end up being on a blog or on a website, or if they wanted to use it on social media. So yes, that's the two different aspects of of this content.
So if I have primarily a video membership, and I know my customer base, let's say here in Central PA, they're going to be in their 40s or 50s, right? Or probably in their 50s and 60s. I could do a portion of my video membership that's kind of like, I don't know, keeping you healthy. I can place those videos in there and just tell people that they're there, and they're basically getting just an education, kind of apart from business, but they're getting something that could just kind of help them, in their lives, like kind of
Sure.
like right where they are, right?
Yep, absolutely. And that's the other thing too, is that, I mean, this to me, this is just the beginning, basically. And I hadn't, done this before. I should have done this before, but sometimes it's you gotta learn the hard way, or learn that you need to go in the direction that you ought to be going. And but my plan is, yes, to end up covering different kinds of medical content and different medical subjects. And so yes, they would be able to have video content to look at on different other subjects as well too.
Yeah, I like it. So tell me a little bit about you. You are, are you private practice, or sort of what's still your connection to, being a medical doctor at this point?
I've been doing ER, or emergency medicine, over the last 25 years, and was for much of the time, about 13 plus years or so, at a small hospital running the emergency department. And then in recent years, I've worked at the VA hospital, just in the ER. And but see all kinds of different patients. In recent years, I've not really been at a trauma center, so I don't end up seeing some of the really big stuff. But I see a fair amount of some of the things that are non-trauma, or I don't necessarily. I do see some stroke-related type patients, but I'm not not at a big center. So, and that's what I've been Yeah, I've been doing that for the last 25 years. Yeah.
That's cool. So so now this is only going to be available for a limited time. I'm not sure when people are going to be gonna hear this, but I'm going to right next to this audio, I'm going to place a link where people can obviously get the content for this particular pack. And if you're listening to this, I want to encourage you, if you've got a video membership or Video Membership Academy, you're building a learning center, I'm going to encourage you to make sure, to go on and get the videos, because that will then be, part of your just kind of keeping people subscribed, giving people something else other than just, the business content, which you should be doing. But this is the kind of thing that I have been talking about, which is building around that content and being concerned about the people that are subscribed to your member area, giving them additional, help. And again, I mean, if your demo is going to be 50, 60, 70, they're going to be thinking about these things, inflammation, and these are the kind of things that I think, all of us in that age range, we're sort of dealing with, right? So Lloyd, just kind of in closing, I appreciate you kind of coming on and giving us some insight on what this is.
Absolutely.
Just kind of thinking out loud. Some people are sort of, I guess you said, if you're into SEO, you could kind of take this and you could put this on a blog to kind of attract people to your written site. That's one thing. What else? What other kinds of things you think people could do with this?
Well, if they were looking at all to sell any kind of medical content, and again, that it probably goes, that's a bit maybe off their regular beaten track, but if they end up considering that, it's to me the thing that I wanted to, and I kind of thought that might be something that would be good to add into the PLR community, was the content such that if you were getting medical content, or you did decide that you want to go that route, that you had it to be doctor checked and doctor edited. And
because you're writing this, right? I mean, you're primarily you're the driving force behind this, right?
I'm getting some collaboration, but I'm basically a lot of times rewriting a lot of it myself. But I help with in basically arranging all of the research, and I look over with a fine-tooth comb the all of the medical aspects of things to make sure that everything is going to meet my standard as well, and sometimes end up having to rewrite some things. But I borrow a little bit of style from and some help from others, just to kind of at least try to make it so it's not just a completely scientific paper that somebody's getting,
Yeah, right on. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and all the videos I do, I have done the wording and speaking on as well. So.
Well, that's cool. Hey, well, everybody, this has been Charles Harper and Dr. Loy Puckett. And as I said, probably if you're watching this by video, please take a look right on the on the front of the video. I'll have a link there where you can get the content. Also, please check right near the, on YouTube, check the description area. There will be a link there where you can get it. And so with that, thanks, Loy. Appreciate you stopping in to have a chat.
Absolutely, Charles. Good to talk to you.
Everybody, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.